Hello and welcome. So I'm going to take a look at the Guardian's Quiptic crossword, and this is the one being published on Sunday the 11th of May 2025, and it's been set by Harpo, which is a name I don't see very often because I don't do many Guardian puzzles, but I certainly haven't seen them can't remember seeing them in the Quiptic slot for quite a few months now, so going to be unfamiliar with their style, so I don't know how it's going to go really. I think the best thing I can do is just crack on. Several deliveries given by Girls Transport. Close to involving London College of Energy. Close to involving is a G. London is close. Right. Calf intermittently cut by cruel strokes. So calf intermittently is CL, I suppose. Intermittently cut by cruel is strokes is stroke, or it could be an AF, of course, for the calf intermittently. Cruel. Okay, defective, neutral and live, both ultimately having no connection. Defective, neutral and live. So neutral is 7, live is that, both ultimately having no connection. I would have thought it was an anagram neutral, and then maybe an EH for ultimately. Live ultimately, both ultimately having no connection is don't know, something, untethered or something, Bond character quietly summing up dodgy baronet 10-4. Okay, Bond character, is it Paddington Bear? Is it, what's his name? I'm just going to biff Paddington Bear in there, which is Michael Bond wrote those books. I mean, that's complete biff based on definition. Baronet has got some of those letters. Quietly is P, adding up is adding, or summing up is adding, and then, yeah, anagram baronet. Okay, Paddington Bear it is. Double dealing, disgraceful university union, primarily upset with politics. Oh, double dealing, disgraceful university union primarily, so D, youth university maybe, union primarily, upset with politics. Is that DUU? Politics, yeah, probably is an anagram on that, which makes double dealing, which would be, let's do it. What the heck? I'm going to have to dive into the DUU politics. That seems very likely as an anagram, but let's see what we get. Duplicitous. Wow. Okay, it is an anagram of that. Duplicitous. Must be OUS. Got 2T, got 2, yeah, DUU. Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay, duplicitous it is. Inactive period, it concludes each of 1st of September. Each. So 1st September is now SON. Something concludes is per something person, isn't it? I thought person. Each is per end period inactive term person. But I don't know what person. No, maybe not actually. Maybe the per isn't right. Maybe it's. Okay. US fighters of a sort penetrated firm rocks. Is this going to be paired with Paddington Bear in some way? US fighters of a sort penetrated firm rocks. Is that GIs? I suppose GIs. Oh, hang on, 21. Official who decides what's outside rulings of court. So the official who decides, and then what is outside of rulings of court. Yeah, it could be something like personal matters, I suppose. Outside the law, don't know. Okay, let's look at the downs because, you know, Hold trophy in Olympic competitive yachting initially. Olympic competitive yachting initially. Oh, there's a Y there somewhere. Occupy is to hold, isn't it? O cup. There's my cup. C, sorry, from that one across for crawl. Olympic competitive C. Trophy in the cup. Gosh, that's complicated. And it all feels complicated, if I'm honest. If I were stepping up from the QC, this would just be unfathomable, I think. Antelope secure between 2 points. I want that to be elands. Secure. Land. Yeah, east and south. Elands. Land between east and south. Gosh, I will go through all these things. So what's this? Crawl. Raw for... Crawl is a swimming stroke. Crawl is raw. Really? Cut by crawl. Crawl is raw. Gosh, no wonder I didn't understand that one. Assuming it's correct. Pick up explosive transaction that may appeal to Cockney consumers. Something ear in it. So we've got a Cockney consumers. Must be some kind of drop a letter thing. Consumers are pick up. Pick up makes me think there's a sound like actually something in there somewhere. Really, I'm going to go back to this one because I can see several deliveries is over and given by Girls Transport. Transport over run. No, transport over. Okay, it wasn't worth going back to, was it really? Injured prone guy, sore loser at Culloden. Oh gosh, another long pair here. Injured prone guy, sore loser at Culloden is... Well, it looks like it's now a prone guy and possibly sore as well. The losers at Scott in Culloden were the Scots, weren't they? I think. I'm not sure. My history isn't that good. It's one area of history we never learnt. What would that be? Maybe that UN's wrong. Actually, there's every chance that's wrong. It's the Highlanders really lost, I think. Let's keep going over here. Unexpectedly regain contacts to whom Charlie might be of interest. Is that an anagram of unexpectedly regain contacts? Young animal left sleeping like a baby. Sleep like a baby. Young animal left. I mean, that looks like there's an L there, doesn't it? Cub, pup. Or is it one that begins with an L? Let's put an L there for now, and then sleeping like a baby would be... Young animals begin with L. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of animals in the world. A lot of breeds of animals, or types of animals. And I can't think of any that begin with L at this moment. Okay, let's go to below uncovered vent. So that's an EN for uncovered vent, I suppose. Potter, about storehouse. I'm assuming below isn't being undercovered. It's not ELO for it could be below uncovered. Vent, Potter. I think it's probably more like the EN though, to be fair. EN, about storehouse. About is a depot. Depot. Depot, but that doesn't go backwards, does it? In the pot. International organisation. Studied broadcast before getting angry. international organisation, studied, broadcast before getting angry. The. If I'm really honest, I'm kind of losing interest in this crossword. You know, it's not quite. It doesn't feel like a cryptic to me. It feels like a main cryptic. I'm not used to Harpo style, so of course that isn't helping me. But there's nothing. You know, I want the cryptic to be a bit of a write-in. You know, and I don't say that in a sense of arrogance. Just I feel like I want to be chucking an answer straight away. And look, well, really, I've only got Paddington Bear, duplicitous, which I had to do through the anagram indicator. Occupy. Elands is probably the closest I've come so far. And maybe Occupy. Sporting tournament, Saxons in it somehow. Okay, that must be an anagram of Saxons in it. Saxons is 6 in it, yeah. Is that an N? Tinsley? Let's try it as an N anyway, but Saxons. My brain can't think of anything with an X in it. Shuffle. Knit, tin. And with those letters, 6 nations, okay, gosh. So yeah, 6 nations. Okay, that is a sporting contest I'm aware of. Oh, right. What we got here? Phrase ends. Phrase end of sleeve. That's less damaged externally. Phrase end of sleeve. That's less damaged externally. What takes turn to enter or leave? So a turn is a go or a try or an attempt. What's a word for what is to enter or leave is to no. Actually scroll on down so I can look some of these down across this column. US fighters of assault penetrated firm rocks. Official decides no, look at that one. Sheepish individual. Individual hides heart of evil. Well, heart of evil is VI. That's ovine, isn't it? That's one into. Okay, so there's a clue that almost feels like a cryptic for me. Not as tipsy as only half a root beers drunk. Half a root is RO or OT. Beers drunk, not as tipsy is. I assume it's soberer. Okay. Soberer, not as drunk, it's tipsy. Drunk is the, yep, okay. Samples of daisies on time. Is that just a hidden word? Don't think so. On time. Could be an anagram of daisies. I don't think it should be. Given that cluing, on time would be age. Or put a T there. Most likely. Although if it's samples of daisies, I would expect there to be an S there, really. Okay, well, let's go back to the Downs. Settles river entered by police. Police might be CID, I suppose. Reside. What does that reside? Settles. You settle river. Are entered by police. I can't really see that. It's probably the name of a river. Maybe it's decide. Settle. Decide. There we are. So the CID going into the river D. Got there the long route. Capital A, and also lowercase s. Feels like it needs to be the name of a capital beginning with A, and is with, also is to, lowercase s. Well, I thought there might be an S there, to be fair, so. Just just looking at this one again, see if there's, I said that might be an anagram of daisies, which at this moment kind of fits. Asides, insides, no. As good as I am on capitals, capital A and also lowercase s. It's not an acrostic, I know that much. Right, let's go on to this one over here. Partly open a receptacle. A jar, I guess. Good. Okay, that's the funniest one of the Quiptic. Hilariously not funny. Right, let's start going here. Okay, so that's a judge of some sort, isn't it? To do with, I think, official who decides what's outside rulings of court. I assume that's a side judge or a line judge. Ah, yes, so a tennis judge. Okay, that's kind of Quiptic funny, isn't it? Because the in-line judge in tennis decides what's gone outside of the court. Fair enough. What takes turn to enter or leave? What takes turn? Ending. I mean, that looks like it should be a knob, really. To enter or leave. Doorknob? Yeah. So you turn a door. Okay, so it's that kind of Quiptic, is it? I mean, I suppose that is punny, isn't it? Really. U.S. fighters of a sort penetrated firm rocks. U.S. fighters of a sort. Is that an anagram of U.S. fighters? Let's go. U.S.F.I.G.H.T.E.R.S. O.F.A. Penetrated firm. Okay, maybe there's a core. Rocks, core. I mean, if that was C for core, which I'm not sure it is, but let's go with that. Phrase ends of sleeve, that's less damaged externally. So is that an anagram of that's left? Cuffs. There's cuffs here. So cufflinks? Cuff. Phrase. End of sleeve. Inactive period concludes dry season. Concludes each 1st of September. So SON for 1st of September, October, November. Inactive is a period is a what's this down here? Yeah. Okay, I was going to have a look at injured prone guy, wasn't I? Wherever it is. Let me scroll up a bit more because I think I need to be there. Prone guy saw. Was that? Prone guy saw. Oh, I need a couple more letters. I'll come back to that in a minute. Doesn't it show me the clue? Injured prone guy saw loser at Colin. It's an anagram of prone guy. Injured prone guy. Just get the first bit, which would be a young pretender, wouldn't it? I don't understand why. Would that be a young pretender? I don't know why it's a young pretender. I have no idea what that's about, really. I think it was the young pretender to the throne or something, maybe. But I think that fits, and it seems nice, and I'm sure that's something about a season. Inactive period. I don't know where we get from C from though, really. If that's the case. Overjoy, I suppose. Transport, yeah, okay, overjoyed. Okay, fair enough. Jelly deals. Jelly deal. Pick up explosive transaction. Jelly deal. I don't know why it's jelly deal. But I know that Cockney consumers say Cockneys like to eat jelly deals by, at least that's the kind of myth of them. Explosive transaction. I'm going to have to think about all these things when I come back. Yeah, in a bit, I will try and decode what's going on in this puzzle because, wow. I mean, you'd think that's a shus word really, but then close to involving. London College of Energy. I mean, evolving could be an anagram of London. College of Energy would be. I seem to have got the L from the left there, haven't I? If you see like a baby, you're a young animal. Lout? You're out. I don't know. Oh gosh, this defective, neutral, and live. So defective, neutral, I think is an anagram, like neutral to that point. Live, both and live would be DE, wouldn't it? I suppose. What's that going to look? Let's put untrandle. Having no connection. Let's see. Neutral DE. See if that comes up any good. Untreadle. Unearthed. Okay. What was that? Unearthed. It's unearthed. I mean, that's definitely the answer. I don't quite understand why that's unearthed. But then a lot of this puzzle has felt like I've got no idea, if I'm honest. So, that's an, what's that? That's a left. Young animal. I have a feeling that's the L there. Okay, we'll come back to that. N, below uncovered vent. Potter about storehouse. Harry Potter. Wizard. International organisation. I'm kind of thinking of the United Nations, the World Health Organisation, all the ones with little acronyms to them. International organisation. Studied. Broadcast before getting angry. Thinking blown fuse, but that isn't going to work. Did I spell duplicitous correctly? There's been who just says, I don't really care, if I'm honest. It's not a puzzle I'm enjoying. US fighters. Okay, let's go on to this one actually. Unexpectedly regain contacts to whom Charlie might be of interest. Well, Charlie is normally a cell. It's double. It's part of that one there, not a double worder. So anagram of regain contacts could be, couldn't it? In which case, whom Charlie might be interest. Charlie, who's Charlie? Is Charlie just a C for? Let's put regain contacts. Well, that is literally all the anagrams, isn't it? Maybe that's okay. I've only got one E in there. Agent. So look at that. Well, I've got one E. I've got unearthed, and I've got line judgment. I'm very comfortable with. I would have thought that's the trouble with. Maybe that's unearthly, actually. That might be. Although where the Y comes from, unearthly. Got neutral in there. Neutral. And an H for both, ultimately. But where's the Y? Live. Or is it DE? And live. I'm fairly sure. Is it? The Young Pretender was Bonnie Prince Charlie, wasn't it? I think, which is And saw is tender down there, yeah. Take that out for a minute while I just have a look at this anagram. I'm fairly sure it should be unearthed, but let's see. Unexpectedly regain contacts. So maybe it isn't an anagram at all, but Team Charlie might be of interest. Treat. Is I saw the word green come up there, but I can't think what green would have to do with anything. Actually, it can't be double E, can it? Okay, I'm going back to unearthed here. I don't quite get it. Unearthly would be having no connection, maybe. If that was unearthly, I don't think it is, but if it was, what that do? International spy ring for getting angry. Oh, how long have I been at this? It's only 26 minutes. It feels like an age. It's 26 minutes. Wow, so far. And actually, most of it's done really. And I've got these two long ones which would fill in quite nicely. The close season isn't that one? Inactive period is the close season. I've got no idea why it's a close season though. But I'm sure it is. Phrase. So that's a biff. Phrase end of sleeve. That's less damaged externally. Phrase are, I want to put cufflinks there really, but scuffles. Scuffles are phrase, aren't they? Cuffles. Which makes that a US fighter. Four fathers. There's part of me feels like there ought to be something connecting these four long. Where are we? The young pretender, the Paddington Bear, firm. I can't put firm in there, can I? Because I've got firm in the clue. Penetrated firm rocks. Fire. Fire would be the only word. US fighters, firefighters. Yeah, so US firefighters, fire, rocks, penetrated, firm. Is it an anagram? Penetrate. Penetrated. Fire department. I think that is. I'm just going to biff that. Okay, is this a test? A test or something? Oh, where's this getting to? I mean, this is just forever getting more anagram like another A, the A coming in there. I'm just kind of Bonnie Prince Charlie, who is the young pretender. That's what I was thinking of. I mean, there's no connection. Firefighter and Paddington Bear doesn't really seem to have any kind of connection, so I don't think there's a connection between these four long clues. Young animal left sleeping like a baby. Just isn't clicking. All 7 down. Below uncovered vent. Potter. About. So N. There's not many things will fit in there. And he. Just not many letters that would fit in there happily, which makes me think that probably is either not unearthed or Potter would be Harry, Harry Potter, or a China maker, pottery, Potter. Potter might be to dither around in the garden. What's over here? Unexpectedly, oh god. When I say what's over here, I meant, oh look, here's that one again. Regain contacts. Oh, I had it. Could hold. Agent. I don't know what kind of agent, but some kind of agent that is surely. I'm going to put agent there. which makes that a testers. What is it? Samples are testers, yep. Biff, daisies on time. T, okay. Esters on the end of T for time, yeah, gosh, wow. Don't always see the on being used in that way in the Guardian ones. Capital, Athens, at hens, also is then, also then, okay. Oh, right, well, down to these last few, aren't I? So that's not too bad. It's only about, what, 30 minutes now? Yep. If only I could work out what this one is. Something agent, unexpectedly regain context. So I'll look at that with it. I wonder if narcotics agent, okay. Okay, wow, okay, so that is not unearthed, is it? Let's take that out now, which probably makes... Oh. Okay, Charlie in the sense of being cocaine. Unreal? Unraveled? Neutral. Neutral. Try to spell neutral, there we go. Neutral. And then EH. Having no connection. Let's go back. Let's just take out the EH that I'm not so sure about. Unreality? Unrelated. Unrelated, okay. I can go with that being unrelated. I don't understand. I mean, I really don't understand if that's unrelated. And that puts my L back in and that D. Oh my. What's this? Close to involving London College of Energy. Surely something like nuclear in it. London College of Energy. Which makes that a cult. Young animal's a cult. Left, sleeping like a baby, cult. Don't know. Then that would work on air, and that would be red. What's that? Red. Faced. Red. Is that bear? Yeah, it must be Paddington Bear. International organisation, Red Cross. Okay. Yep. Fair enough. Which just leaves this one to be Ent. Is that a hidden word? Ent. No, about storehouse. It could be an not anagram. It could be a. Well, the problem here is that I've actually just bunged in that without really understanding the words in cult, maybe. I'm sure. Well, unrelated now looks right with Red Cross going in there. Entry below uncovered event. So uncovered event is the EN, which fits with nuclear. Why that would be nuclear? Close to involving London College of Energy. Energy is nuclear. Oh yeah, near. Ah, so UCL is the London College of Energy that I've never heard of. Well, University College London. Okay, nuclear, yep. So that's good. That must be... Is that colt or cob? Young animal. Colt. Left. Sleeping like a baby. We're both sleeping a cop. I don't think that's the wordplay. I'm going to put colt just because it doesn't matter. Yeah, well, I said it doesn't matter. I'm not sure about unrelated. Neutral is N. Let's just is neutral, isn't it? NEUTRAL, and then D and E from live. Okay, yeah, unrelated. Okay, what's this? Potter, about, storehouse, entry. I like to put these on the level, sometimes that helps me. There's not many things I'll put in there. NT. This is an anagram event, or it could be actually, couldn't it, below. Right, I'm going to put the video on pause so I'll have a little think to myself. I've been playing around for about a minute, alphabet drawing, then I sort of thought, Potter about might be an anagram, so storehouse, so we've got treetop, entry pot. Is it maybe it's an overall anagram. Let's try that and say anagram helper, EN for vent, and then Potter, which hopefully gives me some kind of although what below would be doing? Maybe it isn't though, maybe it is EN then, because it's got to be below it, N. So what have we got left? TEO. So I've got TRP to put in here. So TRP, interop, interpore. Never heard that word. I don't think this is going in the right direction. Potter about, maybe, so maybe it's when I said you wander around in the garden. Let's just fish that out. I did the P, didn't I? Did I do? What about petor? No, that doesn't work, I think. Okay, I'm going to have another think to myself. Okay, well, another couple of minutes just staring at this and really not having any idea. I think maybe I'm going to go with entry pot. It's been a while, so I'm going to check all the answers, see what I've got. Maybe I've got something wrong somewhere that isn't helping me out. Okay, that's actually the word, entry pot. Okay, word I've never heard. Wow, that was a puzzle and a half, wasn't it? I'm going to go through the clues. Right, a quick refresh the screen because that gets rid of all the ticks, and then I can actually go through. So, okay, what have we got? We've got several overs in cricket. Several deliveries. Sorry, if you bowl a number of balls, it gives you an over. Fair enough. And the girl in this case is the random girl at joy, which gives you transport, which is to overjoy. That's not a word I've ever heard of. Wow, so you need a random girl to get to a word that I've never heard of. Close to is near, so that's near involving, so put into it a London college, which is the University College London, I believe, which gives you nuclear, which is a type of energy. Calf intermittently, so take the first and third letters of calf, the C and the L, and then cut them by cruel. Cruel is raw in this case, so another definition I'm not sure about. And a stroke, well, in swimming the stroke is cruel, which is fair enough. We've got an anagram of coming up, so defective is telling us an anagram of neutral, plus we need the E from the D from and the E from live. So it says both ultimately, so take those. Anagram neutral DE gives you unrelated, which is having no connection. Michael Bond was the creator of Paddington Bear, so that's what that is. Quietly is P, play the piano quietly. Summing up is adding, and Dodgy Baronet is saying there's an anagram for the rest of Ton Bear, to give you that. Double dealing is duplicitous. Disgraceful university union, so primarily so it's to take the DUU and then anagram them with politics. So upset is your anagram indicator, with politics gives you duplicitous. Right, okay, yes, I understand this one now I look at it. So the inactive period is the close season. That's just the time. I don't know if it's only when you can't go shooting or whatever. But concludes is closes, and each is EA. So that's an abbreviation. And then the 1st of September, October, November is SON. US fighters of a sort are the fire department. So firefighters, we think of them. So they're part of the fire department. Which I think is just an anagram of penetrated firm. And rocks is your anagram indicator. What have we got here? Let's scroll on down a little bit. Official who decides what's outside rulings of court. So just a cryptic one here really. So a line judge in, say, tennis is the person who decides when the ball is in or out. So has it gone over the line? So the tennis court is the bit it's working on. Sheepish is ovine. An individual is one, hiding the heart of evil. So the heart of evil is the VI of evil. So ovine into that. Not as tipsy is soberer. Half of root is, what is it, the RO, and then beers, so an anagram of drunk, indicating an anagram of RO, beers, to get to soberer, which is not as tipsy as. Samples, oh, what's this? Tasters, not esters, oh gosh, I missed one. Tasters. Samples are tasters, yes, and daisies are asters. Put it on the end of T for time. Yes, I got confused there because I saw daisy, asters and esters in another puzzle recently, where they're being used kind of interchangeably. So yeah, tasters. Good. Okay, not testers, tasters. Right. Well, to hold is to occupy. Oof. Occupy someone's attention, you hold your attention. Trophy is a cup going in Olympic competitive yachting initially, so take the OCY of those three words. Initially is saying take those. Antelopes are elans. To secure, you secure the prize, you land the prize between the points which are east and south. Right, pick up explosive transaction that may appeal to Cockney consumers. Well, jelly deals are something that Cockney people like to, well, reportedly like to consume, to eat jelly deals. Explosive transaction. I'm just going to pause while I have a think about this. I'm fairly sure that this is meant to be some kind of sound like. So pickup is normally a sound like indicator quite often, and a transaction is a deal. So we've got sound like of a deal. Explosive is jelly for gelignite, I think. So jelly deal. Anyway, jelly deal appeals to Cockney consumers, maybe. We've got an anagram. Injured is telling us there's an anagram of prone guy, which gives us the young pre. Sore is tender, and the loser at Culloden, I think, as I begin to recall now, is Bonnie Prince Charlie, who is the young pretender to the throne. I don't know if it's the throne of Scotland or the throne of the UK or what. I'm not sure. Never covered that in my history, but I think that's how that clue breaks down. Unexpectedly regain contact. So regain contact is an anagram of narcotics agent. Unexpectedly is your anagram indicator, and Charlie, as in cocaine, might be of interest to a narcotics agent. Right, yes, the young animal left sleeping like a baby is a colt. Why? Well, a young animal is a colt, a young horse. Left sleeping by a baby colt. I beyond me that one. Don't know. Okay, the word I've never heard of, meaning storehouse, I guess, is entrepot. Below uncovered, so we've got vent uncovered is the en from vent. So so the V and the T are covering the E and N, so uncover those to get EN. Put below that, put an anagram of Potter. About is your anagram indicator, which gives you entrepot. International organisation is the Red Cross. Studied broadcast. So yes, red is a sound like of read. You know, we read our books to study. So broadcasting is a sound like indicator, and you get angry, you get cross. Um, Sporting tournament is the Six Nations rugby tournament that held every kind of February, March time. Saxons in it is an anagram. Six Nations somehow is your anagram indicator. Phrase, what do you got? Phrase end of sleeve that's less damaged externally. Okay, we've got phrases scuffles. End of the sleeve is a cuff with an anagram of less, which is indicated by damaged, going around it. So put less, which gives you the S-L-E-S. Whew, wow. Okay, let's scroll on down. What takes turn? Just check I'm still on screen. Just about. What takes turn? Yeah, well, you turn a doorknob to enter or leave a room. That's all that's about, really. If you settle something, you decide it. The river is the River D, entered by the police, which is CID. Capital is Athens, capital of Greece. A is in the clue, and also is then, and a lowercase s. I don't know what the lowercase is doing there, other than it makes, I suppose it makes a nice surface, capital A and also lowercase s. And finally, we've got the very witty, if something's partly open then it's a jar, and A is in the clue, and a jar is a receptacle. When is a door not a door? When it's a jar. So there we go. That's the puzzle from Harpo. I think that was just shy of 40 minutes for me. Wow, that was tough. And I think, if I'm honest, not overly enjoyable. So, don't know. Let me know down in the comments how you found it, but thanks for watching.